first card. So we're looking at your passions, actions, and inspirations for the month of February. So what do you need to know about your realm of fire, passions, actions, and inspirations for this month of February? Let's have a look for you. So we've got the Queen of Wands. It's time to really make waves with what you are aiming to do, what you're really passionate about. It's really time to nurture those passions and those pursuits. It's really important to gain confidence in yourself to be able to crack on with whatever is the actions, whatever it is you're doing, and what you're inspired to do, and what you're passionate about. Really, this is the Queen is a person. The Queen of Wands is a person who really does activate and trust and confidently express themselves in a very passionate way, very active and very inspiring, and inspired as well. So trust your own vision and drive this month, whatever it's calling you to do, go with it. Stay focused, be determined and motivated. You have all the skills you need to make your dreams come true, that is important to remember. Okay. And it's important to not be too stubborn or quick-tempered if things aren't going the way we want them to. We have the strength and the passion, the drive to make things happen for us, but we don't want to overdose on this fire energy for yourselves, Leo, this month, because it could mean that we end up burning at such a high intensity that things tend to become a burnout. We can burn out with too much passion, too much drive, too much motivation. It can come across to other people quite aggressive, so we need to kind of temper that down a little bit and take other people's perspectives into account. Not just I want this, so I'm going to go and get it at whatever the cost. We have to look at, how am I coming across to someone? So how, especially with what you do, you are very passionate about what you do this month. Things can really, especially in February, the month of love, you're very passionate about your relationships perhaps, or whatever actions that you're doing or projects that you have on the go. But maybe you want to consider how you are coming across to others, and are you coming across way too aggressive? And it's not that you're an aggressive person, it's just the fact that you are wanting to you're just really passionate about what you're talking about, but you might be coming across in not the positive way that you think. So it's a good time to really look into that, but trust where you're going and what you're doing and your motivation. It is taking you and getting things done. You can get things done this month. It's a month to really take action, be really confident in your social and professional settings. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at your thoughts, communications, and plans for this month of February. What's going on in the mind this month for you? Yeah, your thoughts, communications, and plans. What's going on for you, Leo? So, okay, so it's a time to make some changes. Some very much inevitable, much needed changes are there. An opportunity to really make changes about the way you think or perceive things, how you're communicating to others, or your plans need to have a complete change. Perhaps do something massively different to what you've been doing up to now. What you've been doing up to now is probably no longer serving you. The way that you talk to others, perhaps, or the way that you are planning something, maybe that plan needs to be scrapped and we need to look at something new. You have the motivation and the drive to go forward and target what you want this month. So really find, what is your passion, what are you wanting to gear towards, because this month you can really make some really big changes in your life, and it's a transitional month. It's a month where we may not necessarily achieve those things this month, but we're going to put ourselves on that way. We're going to, it's important to let the past go and bring about a new future. So maybe the way that we think about things need to change, the way that we think about ourselves and our passions or our drive. Maybe we're talking ourselves down too much. We need to be more positive on that. The way that you are coming across, body language and all sorts, and also about the plans that you have, there could be some really radical new plans that you're considering, and it's time to really communicate that to others. If you really want these plans to come into action and drive forward, which I can see you want this month, it's time to make them public, time to really release them in the public domain, communicate that with people. And maybe that's the change that you need. Maybe you've been a massive thinker, and not really a doer. Well, now it's time to get doing. Now it's time to really take that action and go forward, and embrace this new development in your life. And change is coming, and you might be getting some change communicated to you in your life, or plans might be changing, and that's nothing to fear, because that's the only thing that we can guarantee in life is change. So it's the only comforting thing that I consider to be stable, is the fact that things are always changing. All things have to come to an end. Nothing stays the same forever. So maybe the plans that we once had were good at that time, but now those plans need a change. Our thoughts were probably okay 5 or 10 years ago. Our perceptions on life was probably different. Now we have developed and learned, and there are new thoughts or perceptions that we need to bring in now. So it's kind of evolving. This isn't like an evolving card for you. You're able to evolve this month according to your passions and desires and where you want to go, because you can gain that confidence to make better plans for yourself. Change is going to come inevitably, so really this month, don't avoid it, embrace it. It's going to happen. It's a good, positive thing that things are changing, because you're able to probably target more what you're really, truly passionate about, which is very exciting. Okay, let's move on to your connections, your personal interactions and relationships for February. What do we need to know about that for you, my lovely Leo? Okay. So you can see here that, okay. We may be feeling that our relationships are not going well, and actually to the sense that they feel very restricted, that we might be too attached to the relationship, or we might, in a sense, that is not helping us. Our personal interactions, our close, intimate friends, connections that we make with people, we may be too dependent on others to provide happiness, to provide joy and contentment, and that is not an empowering place. That is telling us that we need people and relationships and connections, a social life in our lives, to feel validated, to feel good about ourselves, when that's the opposite, when really we need to start maybe to this month looking to yourself and how you can provide your own success, your own happiness. Don't place that dependence on someone else to provide that for you. So your relationships, your interactions with others might have a very dependent feel to it this month, and so that's really helping you to understand that we need to kind of stop being hypnotized by this energy and realize that we can actually do more things for ourselves, than we realize. Also, if you're in a relationship that feels very restrictive, feels like you feel a bit trapped in your personal life, the way you feel, you might be feeling very trapped. Remember that you always don't ever give up your personal power, and you have the ability and the power to shake off this energy. You have the power to leave a relationship if it's not working, if it's restricting, or if it's very much my way or the highway kind of energy. Then maybe that's not the right place. It's definitely not the right place for you to be in. but also not just leaving a relationship, but if you are feeling a bit caged in, if someone in your relationships is unintentionally becoming a bit controlling or a bit restricting without realizing it, we don't have to always get up and go. We just need to be able to communicate that a change is needed. Is what we talked about here, right? Communicate a change is needed. And what does that involve? Well, that involves allowing yourself to have more freedoms, allowing yourself to do your thing your way for a change. You know, we don't always have to be together joined at the hip. You know, we need a bit of separation perhaps in a relationship to figure things out. Or if you're both kind of in a situation where you're working from home, you're in each other's face all day, all night, we need some space maybe, you know. The more credence and power you give to someone else to hold dominion over you, to make choices for you, to decide things for you, the less empowered you will feel, and then you wonder why afterwards you feel trapped, or you feel like I can't get out, or I can't do anything. There's always something you can do. This is an illusion that we allow ourselves to think and believe, so we do need to change our perception on this for sure, gain our positive power to be able to take action on this, whatever this situation is, whatever is making you in your personal life, your connection with others, making you feel a bit suffocated or trapped or controlled, or that I'm always doing what my friends want to do. What about me doing what I want? Maybe because you're wondering why that is. Maybe because you give them that power. Maybe because when they have asked you, what should we do this weekend, you don't offer up a suggestion, so it's always them suggesting, so it's kind of fallen into that natural way where they suggest and you follow. Well, now you can have confidence to say, well, actually I want to go to the cinema this weekend to watch this film, so anyone joining me, rather than being controlled by more dominant people. You know, with dominant people in our lives, the more we allow them and facilitate their dominance to overshadow us, the more they do it, the more empowered they feel, and the less empowered and the more restricted we feel. So this is an illusion. This is to say that you can break free. You don't have to engage with these people, or you can engage what's coming through. I'm not saying that you have to leave relationships because of this. We just need a change in how things are done for the better, so you have more freedoms, you have more scope, or you have more choices, you know. And the thing is that the more you believe that someone else has the decision power over you, the more they do actually have it. It makes it happen. So the devil card energy thrives on belief in that existence. So if we stop believing that we are trapped, that we are hooked, that we can go when we want, we can decide what we want, we don't always have to do what others want us to do. The more you believe that, the less power the devil has. The devil relies on there being a belief in that power, in that energy. If you don't believe it exists, then that energy is dissipated. And it doesn't necessarily mean that someone is acting maliciously in your life. You know, we can take this to the extreme. So it's not always someone's acting maliciously. It's just maybe your friendships, your relationships, personal connections, family. Maybe there's a bit of a discord because people are behaving a certain way that might be a bit controlling. They might not be realizing it, and it's time to say, hey, look, we need to change how the dynamics of our relationship here, because it does feel very one-sided, and I want to make choices or decisions and I'm not allowed to. So please, can I make a decision for myself, or for what we're doing today, or what we're eating, or, you know, whatever it is. That's the issue. It feels like you want to gain a bit of freedom and not feel so trapped or locked in to something, especially when you're in a marriage for a long time. You can feel very much trapped. Doesn't mean you have to go out and have an affair or leave the marriage and go off to new horizons. It just means, you know, perhaps it's an opportunity. You know, we need to have our own, you know, group of friends that we go to once a week, or have a group that we meet up with, or, you know, that we do something separately, we're not always together necessarily, or just the attitudes needs to change. You know, something about this needs to change for the better, which can happen if we believe that we can do it. Yeah. Okay, so moving on now to your work, finance, and health for February. What do you need to know for your work, finance, and health for February? Let's have a look. That was a messy shuffle. What do you need to know about work, finance, and health for February 2023 for my lovely Leos? Let's have a look. Okay, things are looking positive. Change and transition is happening. Things are able to move forward successfully in a fast way. You're able to get your life on track. So work, your finances this month, you're able to get on track. Make those necessary changes. Change those habits and addictions to a certain way of doing things at work because it feels safe, or a certain health regime or a diet that we're on. We need to control things better in that way for ourselves. So this empowerment and confidence is helping you to transition and change how you do things, not just in your personal relationships, but also a lot of successful developments and fast-paced developments are happening for you this month in the world of work, or your finances or health. So we can really get on track and get things moving in a positive way if you're having any illnesses. Also, with your work, you can get a promotion, you can get things moving. If you're looking for a new job, if you're in an interview process and you're waiting for results, those results can come through. This is about successful movement and also physical movement as well. The change and transition could mean that, you know, I want to move house, I want to live somewhere else, right? And you might be finally getting your finances in a positive place to be able to facilitate a move, or purchasing a house, or renting a place. You know, physical movement, travel is coming about. So it looks very good for you this month to be able to get your life on track regarding your work or your finances, get things sorted out, get things moving, but you do need to get behind the wheel. Again, this stems from the Queen of Wands, having that confidence, knowing you have the abilities and the drive and the passion to make necessary changes, maybe even avoiding making these changes. Oh, I'll put it off, I'll do it later, not get round to doing it. Have you done your tax return? That kind of thing, you know. Time to really drive things forward, get behind the steering wheel, stop being a passenger in your life regarding work and finances, and make those developments and changes that positively propel you forward. Especially at work, if you're feeling a bit trapped, if you're feeling that you're stuck in a dead-end job, you don't have to be there. This is a reminder, very empowering energy, that you can get on and you can get in control of your career, and you can take those positive moves either to get a promotion or to really, you know, look for a job that's going to be more satisfying. You have the drive this month to really focus and charge forward and bring your life back into focus, you know, on the right track. Let's look at your spirituality this month and any defining life lessons and themes that are coming up for you in February of 2023, and how that relates to everything for you. Okay, so what do you need to know about that? So the Seven of Pentacles comes up. So it's a lesson of patience. It's a lesson that we may have already been sowing the seeds of what we are waiting for. And we just remember that harvesting does take a long time to reap the rewards. We have to plant the seed, we have to initially take the first steps, and then we have to wait a while for the fruits of our labor to come through. So it seems that whatever we've been working hard at, we need to stay focused, make the changes, because we are able to improve our lives. So the grander scheme of our life is that we can improve our life in a way. If we've worked hard at something all last year and it didn't get the results that we expected or we would have preferred, learn those lessons. What did we do that was good? What did we do that didn't really help? What can we change? What can we change to make things better? So like this guy who's grown a plant is like, oh yay, it's growing, but oh, it's not really as good as I hoped. Maybe there's some disappointment in your life, and the disappointment is not there to remind you how crap things are. It's to help you go, right, okay, that plan didn't work out. What do I need to do? Changes on plans need to be made. What changes of my plans need to be made? Well, I need to make this better. So you've already got something from it, though. It's not a complete waste of time. Something has happened. So it's given you the idea, okay, results have come in, but it needs to be better. So we need to get back on track. What is it? Be active in this change and development. Really be motivated to make the positive changes. Don't lose heart, really, is what's saying, and be patient. No, okay, I spent a lot of time on that and it didn't really work out. Why? Okay, let me go back to the drawing board, make necessary changes. Any habits or practices that are involved in this that are restricting me, I need to let go of. Any ideas or theories that are locking me in, that are restricting my thoughts or the way that I'm able to interact with others, needs to change. And when you do actually get back on track and behind the steering wheel, okay, I'm going to plant again the crop and hopefully get better results next time, not by doing the same thing again. The more we do the same thing and hoping for different results is a sign of madness. Yeah? When we do things and it doesn't work out, it's important to assess. This is a moment life lesson. We need to assess things, change what didn't work to go again and make it better. If we're just repeating the same actions again and again, hoping for a better, different result, we're not going to get it. And this is our bigger life lesson. This applies to anything that's happening in your life, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your career, your finances, your health. If you are approaching things in exactly the same way every time and wanting a different outcome, that's ludicrous. That's not going to happen, right? So what we need to do is assess, what are we doing right? First of all, look to the positives. What are we doing right? What are we doing that could be changed to make this better? Because it's not like you haven't had any results. You've had some results, you've had some positive, you've had some gain, you've had some success, some rewards, but it's not where you had hoped. You're not where you had hoped you would be by this time in 2023. So what needs changing? How can we develop and change it for the better? It's a necessary change. Make those changes, really take these things on board, and very quickly we can see better results. So this is saying that better results can come, not over the next year, not over the rest of this year. If we get in the driving seat, we can really charge forward and target those and be confident about what we're doing, that I know what needs changing. I know it. I know what I've done wrong. Right, let's do it again. Or, in whatever aspect, if it's a relationship that could be better, what are we doing wrong in this? Are we still doing the same things again and again and again, hoping for a different result? We need to change our dynamics a bit here, perhaps, that kind of thing, yeah? Okay. Let's have a look at the voice of the heart. So your voice of the heart for February. What is your heart telling you for February 2023? Let's have a look at that for you. So we get the Emperor. So the heart wants you to know that it's time to have the confidence to trust yourself, to know what you want, and to also know that you can learn a lot by observing the consequences of your actions. So it's like your actions have done and received some results or consequences, right? And if we are observant in how that plays out, we make a decision. What's the consequence? What's the result? What happens if we do X, Y, or Z? It's like an experiment. We are able to learn a lot. Our heart is able to heal, connect better. Living through the heart, we're able to feel much more secure and strengthened and more sure of ourselves if we are paying attention to what happens as a result of our choices and decisions, you know, or what we do. But also it's important to not over obsess on what needs to be improved, because again, this idea of restriction, when we're holding too tightly or we're too obsessed about wanting a change and being very hardcore, really want to make this happen, the more we hold it, the tighter we hold on to it, the more focus. Sometimes we could be placing way too much focus on something, and it doesn't allow anything to flourish or develop or grow in a more free way. And here I'm getting the change needs to happen freely and organically, because we get trees here. So it's like there is hope, but it needs to happen organically. So too much control, you know, the heart can feel very tense and not, you know, we need to be relaxed. So this, from the heart, is saying don't be too fierce and goal driven as you might be, Leos, for the success that you want in things. You know, yes, we need to get things on track, but it looks like these changes can happen organically, and especially organically with the growth and development of our life can happen in a very organic, patient way. So really exercise a lot of patience. Don't be too controlling in your situations, because this fire, with fire energy, you can really come across quite aggressive in how you are communicating, or how you're dealing with your passions, or, you know, the way you get passionate. Yes, you might be very passionate about these changes and about these changes or developments in your life, in whatever aspect, but we need some sort of self-control to not take it too far or to the extreme. And any experiences that you've had are really going to help you understand and learn how the world works and how change happens and what happens if we do this, what happens if we do that. So be very observant is key as well. And really, your heart is wanting there to be a strong, solid foundation for your life. So these changes are helping you to be stronger and have a better foundation. The root chakras are coming in here, making sure those are strong and functioning in a great way, so you are able to feel very secure and both feet are on the ground. I am, you know, my standing is my legs, my feet are hip width apart kind of thing, rather than standing leaning on one leg. Or, you know, we want secure energy here. We want, you know, and the heart needs grounding. The heart needs to feel secure and safe, and with the Emperor energy, that can happen. Yeah. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this reading, my lovely Leos. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, if you would like to book a private reading, you can through my website, govindadeen.com. Please remember to give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this, and you can subscribe if you haven't done so already, so you get notified whenever I do this content or come online. Remember, these are messages for your sun, moon, and rising signs, so these can you know, looking at those different signs, you get a real well-rounded view of yourself and the month. So that's very a good idea to pay attention to your 3 signs. You might want to watch the 3 videos according to your sun, moon, and rising. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Have a lovely rest of the day. May you all be blessed. Gypsy heart blessings. Praise be you all. See you all next time. Bye bye, my loves.